Hey guys, Danny here at PARTAY. So I've got a few updates I'm going to cover here today. Going to cover some about shipping and some about product updates, and then a few that are just PARTAY updates. Don't really have a lot to do with our YouTube channel, but I'll share them anyway. So first with shipping updates. So I've had quite a few emails that I've received from the UK, and I think it was three that we received from Israel that are looking for us to ship the product to those areas. So I've done some research. I haven't responded to your emails, but will be responding to your emails this week and give you a tentative date for when the shipping option for those areas will be open. But we will be shipping there, most likely starting somewhere around the second to the third week in February. We'll open that up. I received a few from Hong Kong, and I say a few, it was just a couple from Hong Kong. And I'm still looking into that. So, I would just say be patient. Let me get back with you. It'll probably be about a week before I get back with you, but I should know more by that time frame. So hopefully that fits within your timetable. But that's going to be about the soonest I can get back on those. But we're happy to start expanding into other territories. I just need to do some research in each one of those territories first before I go ahead and commit to shipping to those areas. So the next thing we'll get into products. So I've had a lot of requests over the past few months about Goppity Goop and when will it be coming back. So Goppity Goop is coming back. It's going to come back probably mid to late February. We'll be launching it. We'll start with two products. We're going to launch Vega and Polaris as a part of that. I don't feel the need immediately to go with anything lighter at this point, and I don't want to go into the dark territory yet. I've got something I've been working on that's going to be sort of an in-between Polaris and a Sirius A that I think would work out better overall for an ALR screen, because a lot of folks are looking to use it both with a long throw and a UST. So I want to make sure that it would work with USTs. I would like to have at least three screens that are UST compatible that you would be able to select from. So those three screens in the Goppity Goop lineup would all be both long throw, short throw, and ultra short throw compatible. So more to come on that. I'll be talking a little more about it as we get closer to that time frame. The Sunkiller is actually going to be out in March. The reason I say March is because Sunkiller is actually going to be the screen that's going to be on the backside of my pool house bar. So I want that to be a showpiece behind the bar. And I'm going to use that opportunity to release the product, to show the product working in, an ambient environment outside, because it's going to be out on the backside of the pool house. The sun comes up in the morning. It stays pretty prominent in the afternoon on that whole area. So it'll give you some insight into exactly how it'll hold up in the sun. And we're probably going to have two different versions. I'll have one that's just semi-transparent, and then we're going to have one that's more of a semi-transparent black. And I haven't really landed on which one I'm going to put down at the pool house yet. So another reason why I don't want to go into any kind of showcasing or anything before we get to that time period. But we will be showing that. That product will probably be the most inexpensive in my lineup. I'm thinking right now somewhere around the $45 to $50 price range. So next product, well, actually, that's the last of the products I've got to cover for right now. So then just a couple of product or PARTAY updates. So we've got a few things that we've been working on in the background. We'd mentioned before that we were working on a sawtooth or lenticular screen. So that we're working on now. That is for wholesale. In other words, we have agreements with wholesale installers around here. And that one's going to be relegated to them because it's too expensive for me to ship at this time. We hope that we'll be able to extend that to, our internet folks, maybe before the end of the year. But the exciting news is that I'll be able to share with you our first lenticular UST screen, most likely about midsummer. We've got some prototypes that we have now, but a prototype isn't really going to give you an idea of what an overall screen would be. And I don't want to get into showing nothing but just a bunch of little cookie cutter screens. So then we also have we'll be attending our first expo in March and another one that'll be in June, but I will be filming at least the first one in March. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of footage off the one in June because it's a little bigger. It's going to take, a couple of resources to kind of be there to talk to people, and I won't have anybody that may be available at that time to film it because a lot of my family's going to be on vacation at that time. Just be Kel and I. But for the one in March, we most definitely have the resources to be able to take some footage there. We're going to show you how people react. You're going to see a public reaction to these screens, and we're going to be showing a number of different screens. We'll have our Series C, Series A there. We're going to have some other PSP lineup, as well as we'll be showing a couple of our Goppity-Goop screens. And then the last thing that I have is in our wholesale lineup, we're going to be moving from our Diamante lineup. Just for those who followed over the course of the years and know that, our Diamante lineup is our wholesale lineup. It's a multi-layer screen that we make here. I've never been able to sell it online because it's 5 different components that have to be sprayed in a specific sequence. And if you mess up, you got to start all over again. So it's not a real good online DIY option. But it's what we used here to make the screens that we sell to installers. And it's because there was so much complication that you had to go through when spraying the screen that we moved to a new approach. We call that approach Stella NOA. Stella NOA is more of just a lineup. It's not a specific product because we make different colors within the Stella NOA range. But it's not something that I would want to sell as a DIY product because it takes quite a few layers. This is a multi-layer screen that's based primarily on extreme transmission, and it's just lovely. I can't wait to show you the first screen that we make off the line. We've made a number of different samples here, but whenever I get it, I think I'll bring up just a quick example here just to give you. This was one of the earlier examples that we have, and I may have shown this before, I'm not sure, but just wanted to give you some insight into what it looks like. And you can see from that picture that I can go much darker with Stella NOA, even with a UST, and it will hold up just excellent brightness, hold your contrast. But once again, a complicated screen to make, less complicated than Diamante by far, but it's a little more tedious in the way that you make it. The beauty of it is that we can make many at one time and not have to worry about mistakes. It's more like the tango. If you get mixed up in the tango, you just tango on. And that's the way that the product works. So just wanted to share those updates with you guys. And I'll have some information coming out soon. We're going to cover some rear projection. We're going to cover some projection basics. And look forward to talking to you guys then. Take care.